What's going on, YouTube? Cloud Envy here, and I figure, you know what? We just recorded a match with Yuma. It's about 4 a.m. Why not just get this up there? So, I got a little head start on prepping for Stab. That is our week. Oh my God, week 6 match. Our first rematch, and currently the only person to beat us yet, so it's a pretty scary match. But by the time you see this, you will know that we did defeat Yuma and the Chicago Cub Chews, so woohoo. That puts us at a nice 4-1 with a +10 differential, just barely at the tippy top of the league. I think Lucky Lad is right behind us at 4-1 with +8. Don't hold me to that, I could be wrong. But I figure, you know what? I'll prep for Stab real quick, throw this up there, and not have to worry about it Thursday night. Or Friday night, or whenever I end up doing it. So, reflecting on our match with Stab, I watched it a good amount of times at work today. Not this morning, well, yesterday morning. It's like 4 a.m. Leave me alone. But I watched her match a good couple times, and I thought to myself, what did we do wrong? How could we make this better? And I realized that my biggest problem was I spent too much time thinking. I'm not a thinker. I'm a doer. I'm very intuitive. So it works out a lot better for me if I just start pushing buttons. The more I think about it, the worse I perform. I got a drink somewhere. There it is. So in lieu of that, I decided, let's bring the same exact team. Same exact mons. A little bit different. A little different setup. Better execution. But looking at Stab's team, I watched our matches and I thought, okay, well, what would he think he did wrong? And as you can see, we have it set up a little differently than we did before. I definitely see Megalock, Manaphy, and Gengar for obvious reasons. Strong physical, good all around, with a great setup opportunity, and giant special. All fast. So past that gets his offenses taken care of, because those three alone can pretty much destroy my team. Next up, I definitely see him bringing in Moongus. I don't see a reason for him not to. I mean, yeah, I've got Heatran, Infernape, and Zapdos can learn Heat Wave, but at the same time, Amoonguss puts down a lot of my mons. It gets Spore. You make it defensive with an Aqua Berry. Infernape's down. You make it especially defensive with an Aqua Berry. Heatran's down. Past that, if he fears the fire, all he has to do is switch into Manaphy. If he's up against Zapdos and fears the fire and the electric, bam, Clefable. That's why I've got Clefable in the red. It would be fantastic paired up with Amoonguss. And I'm so scared of this stupid mushroom, just because it's so bulky and has access to Spore. And because it's a poison type, I can't even safely bring Tangela. Sludge Bomb does like 90% with the Eviolite. I could be wrong. I'm estimating. But I definitely see Amoonguss coming. I see Registeel. I see Registeel real big. He brought Mesprit last week, and it went down in one shot, got rocks up. And Registeel really stops Beedrill. It can still utilize rocks, and it has access to T-Wave, which also really hurts my team. Registeel also has that nice Seismic Toss utility, which can deal a hefty amount to things that wouldn't normally take damage from it. So like Zapdos, Seismic Toss, boom. Swampert, Seismic Toss, boom. Given Swampert can get a burn off and Zapdos can Heat Wave, but you know what I mean. Sand Slash, Spin, Plus, it's got nice defense. It puts down, well, it has the ability to stop a lot of my physical hitters. It stops speed drill. I cannot OHKO a Sand Slash. We take an Earthquake, we're done. I switch into Zapdos. It can live in HP Ice. It goes for Stone Edge. Heavy damage. Infernape. Heatran. Both die to Sand Slash. Swampert stops it, but that would take very good, I forgot the word. I'd have to save it. Again, Electabuzz. Great utility. Great Mon. It's very, very good if you know how to use it. Especially with an Eviolite. Bulky Electabuzz is not something to play with. So I definitely see those things happening. Salamence, I haven't touched up on. Salamence has the potential to really sweep my team. Another reason I don't have Houndoom in there is because it really didn't do a whole lot last time. I know I had Assault Vest Heatran, but 2 Earth Powers from a Life Orb Houndoom still didn't kill it. So I definitely see Salamence possibly taking his place. He can D-Dance up. If he needs the Fire Utility for Fortress, it's got Flamethrower. And Salamence's special attack is naturally high, so it's not even really going to affect it that much. Past that, his team definitely has a lot of potential, which is really frightening to me. I feel like our first match, I didn't really get to tap into too much of what he can do with his team. And that's also a frightening factor, because I have no idea what to expect this time. I know in counter team format, it's really difficult to beat the same opponent twice, but that doesn't mean we're going to try any less. So, with that, let's jump into what we have. So, as every week ever, we're gonna leave this off with Bruce Willis, the Unbreakable Fortress. And yes, after our match with Yuma, I made positively sure that all of my Mons have EVs, because I'm not about to walk into another match with 2 Mons without investment, because that's just stupid. So we've got Fortress, we have Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Gyro Ball, and Protect. Stealth Rock, obvious. I want my rocks up. Like, what do you want from me? That's what he's here for. He's got the rocks. Rapid Spin, to get away his rocks when Registeel, Mesprit, or Sand Slash, I think that's it, sets them. Gyro Ball, I put in a really good amount of work last time. If we had a little more investment, that Gengar actually would have died, so we gave it a little more investment. And then Protect. Fortress walls Megalop really, really well, except for High Jump Kick. So we brought Protect, because the last thing you expect a Fortress to have is Protect. And I want his Megalop to go for that High Jump Kick, so it crashes and hurts itself really badly. And that sounds like a really cruel thing to say, but that's what I want to happen. So past that, we're going to finish our defensive core with Charybdis the Swampert. I was watching Lucky Lad's match, and I thought to myself, wow, you know, I like his Meloetta set. I like that Assault Vest. So I figure we'll bring our own Assault Vest. Now this Swampert is made to do a couple things. 1, fake the rocks. 2, eat and or Manaphy, Gengar, or Electabuzz. Maybe a Moongus, I didn't calc that one. Anything that deals heavy special damage. Because we have Assault Vest, Mirror Coat, Earthquake Scald, and Endeavor. Now this Swampert is naturally bulky, but doesn't have any defensive investment. So if we get hit really hard physically, we can still eat it, given we have a lot of HP. So we can go for an Endeavor and just bring him down to our level. Scald is obvious, Earthquake's obvious, we want the stab moves, we want the chance for burn. Mirror Coat is really just there because this Swampert, can eat a +3 Scald from a Manaphy and still have around half health left. So if it should tail glow up, I want to launch a Mirror Coat and knock it out. Gengar carries Energy Ball. We have we max out to a point where Energy Ball will not kill us. I want to knock it out. Same for Amoonguss, but that's different. It can easily just put us to sleep. So Tribjus is another silly set. I have to stop bringing these crazy Swamperts because one day it's gonna work. One day. You watch. Hopefully, whenever we battle is that day. After Swampert, it's me. As you can guess, we have no other defensive mons. That's it. No more defense. I don't like defense. I hit hard, I hit fast, and I keep pressure on. That's what I do. Speaking of pressure and hitting hard and fast, we're going to jump to Sasuke. Now, this silly little weasel is carrying the Focus Sash. I know we are scumbags. We have the Focus Sash and counter on a Sneasel. I really want it to work. I hope it does. The whole reasoning behind this set is I see no reason for him to bench Megalop. And Lopunny is very frail. It's got speed, but no physical attack, no defense, nothing. So if he brings Megalop, I feel like there's a 9 out of 10 chance he's going to put it on point. And in that case, we're going to put Sasuke on point. And we do outspeed regular Lopunny, which is fantastic, so we can go for a Fake Out, which negates his Fake Out. He gets the Mega Evo. We take no damage, keeping our Sash intact. And I really want him to kind of feel the situation. I want him to go for the attack, predicting the switch, so he can break the Sash and we can counter and kill the Megalop. I feel like if that doesn't happen, it's only good, because that means A, he didn't bring Megalop, which wouldn't make sense, because that thing it puts such a pounding on everything, and B, he probably switched it out, which really wouldn't make any sense, but at the same time, it really depends. He could switch in Clefable. Sneasel can't touch Clefable, but we get a free switch into Stabby. So, I feel like if we don't kill the Megalop, we're still going to plus off that. There's no reason not to put Sneasel on point, so long as he brings Megalop. Past that, Sneasel's pretty regular. We have Ice Shard knockoff. Ice Shard does not do as much damage to Amoonguss as I'd like. It does take out Mence, especially after D-dances. I want to get in there, I want to Ice Shard, I want to get out. Knockoff. I was so tempted to run Pursuit for the Gengar, but I felt like it just wasn't a good idea. We have Knockoff for, not for Gengar, because it's really not bad anywhere. We have Knockoff against Gengar if he brings it. We can get the EVLA off Electabuzz if he has it. And in case he brings Mesprit, we have Knockoff. But it's really just there for Strong Stab. So Sasuke's speaks for himself. He's there to kill Megalop, and if possible, kill Mence if he brings it. Next up, we have our super duper cookie cutter Mega Beedrill. Same exact set from week 2. Nothing changed. I still didn't bring Pursuit. I feel like I mentioned at the end of the video in our week 2 match, if we had used Pursuit, Gengar would die, but we wouldn't have been able to deal with Sand Slash. And honestly, I'd prefer to have his switch in take damage and have Gengar jump back in and have to worry about that afterwards. Because Beedrill hits hard enough to where if you switch in a tank, I want to say 7 out of 10 times, Beedrill can 2KO it. And if you're switching into it and taking heavy damage, we're just going to hit you again. So Beedrill is very cookie cutter. We're bringing the exact same set. So nothing much changed there. Nothing to worry about. Stormcaller's next on the list. Again, almost the same set. I figure this time we would go for a Choice Scarf, because I really want to pack on some HP. I really want to throw him off too. I feel like that's important here. So we have Thunderbolt, obvious reasons. Heat Wave for the Amoonguss if he decides Yeah, Heat Wave for Amoonguss and Registeel, because that's gonna hurt what I believe to be what 2 of his core is. Hidden Power Ice for that Sand Slash that I'm still pretty sure has to come in. And hopefully he doesn't bring that stupid berry again. I don't see why he would. I feel like the first time was clever, but the second time would be a little overdone. But at the same time, I'm not expecting it, so it would be really smart. I don't know. I think too much, and I tend to overthink these things. But considering I'm expecting Sand Slash, we have U-Turn, not Volt Switch. Because I don't want to go for a Volt Switch, have him switch into Sand Slash, get stuck, and then give the Scarf away right there. I don't like how that sounds. I don't like that at all. And past that point, the man, Red Rocket. We're not bringing even relatively close to the same set we brought last time. Especially since it really didn't do anything. We have a full offensive physical set. 200 speed with a Jolly Nature. And maxed out attack. This moveset's pretty weird. Speaks for itself mostly, but pretty weird. Close combat just to deal really heavy damage. We have Flare Blitz for the Registeel and the Amoonguss. Again, he can just switch into Sand Slash and negate that. If he wants to go into Clefable, if he brings Clefable, we have the Gunk Shot. The only way I can KO one OKO Clefable is with a max attack, Choice Band, and Gunk Shot from my Infernape. If Beedrill's out of the picture, I want a contingency. And I want to be prepared for that switching. And we have Mach Punch for Megalop. The only real reason we're Scarfed is to outspeed Megalop. I don't want to get swept by that thing's quick attack. I feel like it's extremely probable if he gets Fortress and Swampert out of the way. As you can imagine, that thing is extremely scary to my team. Mainly because it packs such a punch. Quick attack is stab. I really only have 2 defensive Mon, and it hits ghost types. Like, my team has a lot of trouble with Megalops. But, I don't know when we're having this battle. Hopefully it's sooner than later. But until then, guys, I will leave you to it. Hopefully, we can come out of this and keep our lead. Because I really want to come back here, and I want to tell you that we're looking at a 5-1, and I want to tell you that we're still at the top of the league, because that is what I'm in for. But past that, guys, I will leave you to it. Make sure to stay tuned for our match coming up this weekend, and until then, stay frosty.